Hey everybody, welcome to the Everything Auburn podcast. It feels so good to be back.
Man,
Carter, I know you missed me.
came in hot.
I did. I came in hot.
Headphones a bit low.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Welcome to it. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Welcome back. New Year. Happy New Year. Haven't seen you.
That's crazy.
The rule is the first time you see somebody in the new year, you can say it, and it is way too late in the year to be saying it, but
It is.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah, it's February. First month flew by.
Hell yeah. Bring it on.
Yeah. Well, today on the podcast, we have a very exciting guest. We have Brooks Fuller, a class of 2022 grad, finance grad, an Auburn boy. Brooks, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
very much, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Indeed. Welcome to it. Dalton just said local kid from Auburn, went to Auburn, played baseball here at Auburn, owned a business. I mean, is there anything not Auburn about you? You're about the most Auburn person we've had.
Not a whole lot. I will say, I was born in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay.
That's the only thing that's not Auburn about me. I was there for 6 months. So typically when someone asks me where you're from, I just say Auburn.
You have good memories from Raleigh?
I have no
6
memories.
months?
I've been back once or twice.
Shit.
Other than that, no. I've been here. We'll probably stay here. Parents are here. Grandparents are here, and it's a blessing to be here. So we love Auburn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wonderful. Well, I mean, you played baseball here, so let's just start with, kind of the fun bits here. Walk me through what it was like growing up here and getting to play sport for Auburn, a team that you grew up probably watching your whole life.
Right.
Probably, I assume, wanted to play War your whole life.
Definitely.
What's that experience like to be able to get to do now, retrospectively looking at it?
Yeah, I mean, it was the dream. My dad actually played baseball here in 1988, I believe. He played with Frank Thomas, who's now a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's pretty good at baseball.
Don't know if y'all heard of him before.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
So dad was here for 4 years. He met my mom. She was a Diamond Doll. So baseball brought them together. They actually had their first class in Haley Center, which is not too far from where we're at today.
Mm-hmm.
And they fell in love. They moved away from Auburn, like I said, and then he came back to Auburn. The reason why we left Raleigh to come back to Auburn when I was 6 months old is because he took the pitching coach job at Auburn. So he was
A lot of Auburn baseball.
Yeah.
probably talking about a bunch of Auburn today, I would imagine. But no, he was a pitching coach here for 4 years. And when I was 4 years old, he decided to quit coaching baseball to stay home with his family more, which the life of a coach is pretty crazy, but it's really tough to be on the road with young kids. He was responsible for going out and getting recruits and bringing them in for meetings and visits and stuff of that nature. So after 4 years, he hung it up in the coaching world. We planted in Auburn, and then I guess from 4 years old till 18 years old, the dream was to play Auburn baseball. So played for the legendary Matt Semo at Auburn High School. He just retired at Auburn High School, but he was there for like 30 years, won 4 or 5 state championships. I was fortunate enough to play for him, and then Coach Thompson, gave us a scholarship to come and play, and that was a dream, right? To play at Auburn, to get drafted, and play in the big leagues was kind of where my head was at from, about 4 years old until 18 years old, I would say.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
All right, well, I got to ask, because it's, your dad played baseball here, you played baseball here. We won't show him this. Who's throwing more heat? If you were to compare, hypothetically speaking, of course, you're right. I don't have to. We don't tell him about this.
yeah.
Who's got the arm?
I would say I had the arm, but Dad had the career.
Okay.
Okay.
Very diplomatic answer.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that.
He ended up playing pro ball for a few years, which I wasn't, fortunate enough to play, but they just didn't throw as hard back then for whatever reason. He was a good pitcher, didn't throw as hard, but played for longer. So
You gotta check. You gotta see. I'm a competitive one.
yeah,
So you gotta just kind of eye him up a little bit.
right.
But so another thing that we were talking about, me and Kim were talking about it earlier. Kim, our producer, is just off screen there. Your time as a student did some really cool things as well. One of the coolest things I think Auburn does, been fortunate enough to do some work with them recently, was as a business student, there's some really great resources that you got to shaped who you are outside of baseball. You great athlete, but you're also an Auburn student, and you do a lot of things with business school, a lot of different resources there. New Venture Accelerator is a great one, right? It's one that I love, that I think I wish more people knew about. Right? So if you could walk me through it, tell me what you did as a student, And then tell me how New Venture Accelerator kind of got worked into your world.
Yeah, so I came to Auburn to be an orthodontist, believe it or not, and a baseball player. But that was the path I took. I got to organic chemistry, and God had different plans for me there. So
Yeah.
I joke. I started in business school, right, and I switched to film school, liberal arts. It's media studies was the formal name. The joke I always say is I learned one thing in business school, which was really important, but it was I shouldn't be in business school.
Yeah, I took the path of least resistance and was like, which degree can I get that has the least amount of math? That's the one that I want to do.
I get it.
The moment you had to start adding numbers with letters, like algebra, I was like, I'm out.
I'm not an accountant. That's what I know for sure, which is great. That's part of the reason those classes are there, is to learn the skills and also learn that maybe we don't do this. Maybe we do something else. And that's what I learned.
Learn what not to do first.
Hey, exactly.
That's what college is for.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful to have learned it.
Absolutely.
It was a bit hairy when I was going through it.
So I learned what not to do, which was chemistry and being an orthodontist. Switched over to the business school in finance, and then learned a lot about the New Venture Accelerator, entrepreneurship. I come from a background of entrepreneurs. My dad, like I said, after the baseball career and coaching baseball, he opened up a small business. My mom has done marketing with small business. She's a very creative brain, so I think it was in my blood. I didn't expect it to be where we're at today. But that was my start, at least, with the College of Business. There are great opportunities, and I will retweet your point earlier. There's not enough people that know about the New Venture Accelerator.
Mm-hmm. It's so cool. It's such a great resource. We did stuff like Tiger Cage. We did a kind of a feature on Tiger Cage.
Yeah.
The Tiger Cage, New Venture Accelerator, all those resources are just like there.
Yeah.
And there's so many different things that Auburn offers across the board that just you don't realize too. Sure. But New Venture is like, I can't tell enough people about it.
Right. And I didn't know about it until I took a class, and the teacher, Lou Buffano.
Oh, yeah.
He was the director of the MVA. Mm-hmm. And he just shared, if you have a startup idea, or if you have a young business and need office space and access to entrepreneurs, email me, text me, I'm available. So I chewed on that for a little bit and eventually got plugged in. And Lou and his team have built a great organization over there.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting funding. They're getting more facilities. It's first-class facilities. I'm not sure if you guys...
Getting to hang out in Research Park's not the worst either.
No.
There's some really cool spaces over there.
There are not. So we, our company, which I'm sure we'll talk about here in a second, that's really where we got our start, was in the NBA. And we're still there. We thoroughly enjoy it. The office space is Class A. The access to the entrepreneurs who have started a business, scaled a business, sold a business, and now they're giving their time back to guys like me and people in my office. That's the coolest part. You know, I get to hang around Ward Swift and Dan Leonardi and fellow entrepreneurs all day who have gone before me and have messed up, learned what not to do, and then who have done it right. And they invest back in us, which is awesome.
Yeah. Looking back now, almost 4 years post-grad.
It's good math.
Thank you so much.
I got you.
I can do the basics, you know.
Ready, yeah.
What advice would you give to one of those students who has the entrepreneurial spirit now?
Yeah, I mean, I would tell them that room to room, and me personally, wouldn't be where we're at today without the New Venture Accelerator, the Harvard College of Business, and then a bunch of entrepreneurs and mentors in Auburn that just invest time in us. You know, I would also tell them to hop in and to go. They have the idea. It's important to put your business plan together, understand your financials, and be patient. But once you have those, just go. Beta test if you need to, if you're a software company. I think a bunch of people get held up in the idea stage.
Sure.
And it's really easy. I mean, I do sometimes. We'll have a great idea, and we'll tweak it and edit it, and then we'll tweak it and edit it, and next thing you know, it's 3 months later, and we have no idea what we're even talking about anymore.
Right.
Perfect be the enemy of good.
Yeah. So I try and encourage people, man, put your paperwork together, make sure your insurance is right, make sure everything is set up, but then when it's time to go, just go and don't look back.
Yeah.
Chase failure. You're going to fail, expect to fail, want to fail, and then be smart enough and have enough patience to sit back and reflect and say, okay, what didn't work here? I'm not going to quit. I'm just going to pivot and make it better. So, yeah, get plugged in with the NBA. Like I said, Ward Swift is the active director over there now. You can find his email on Google if you want to, and there's a bunch of resources out there in Auburn. There's a lot of people in Auburn who have built big businesses and have lived here and have retired here. So I think Auburn's a great resource. I would start there. But then there's a bunch of people, in the community that will invest some time in you as well.
Absolutely. I think that's great.
Yeah. And I would also love to invest time if there's any entrepreneur out there.
There you go.
Not to plug myself or anything, but
Plug away, my guy.
DM, text, email me. I would love to give back because there's a bunch of people in my life that gave back to me.
Yeah. Talking about New Venture Accelerator, and then you mentioned Room to Room. Can you kind of tell us how that came about? I know you graduated in 2022. When everybody else went home during COVID, you were home already.
I was home.
It wasn't a far.
Yeah, you didn't have to go too far. So did you just have somebody reach out to you and say, hey, can you ship my stuff back home? Like, how did this come to be?
In a nutshell, yeah. So really it all goes back to March 18th, 2020. We all probably know where we were at that week.
Seared onto my
Yeah. Where were you? Just curious.
So I was working for athletics at the time. I was working for the video team, and I was with.
Were you in Nashville?
I was in Nashville for the SEC men's basketball tournament, and
We were excited for that, by the way.
oh, I know because we were
good.
Isaac
really
Okoro-
Fresh out of a Final Four?
Isaac Okoro.
Sharif Kemper here that year?
No, it was the year before Sharif.
Okay.
But yeah, we had like the second or third. We're up there in one of the best records in basketball. We started that season, I think it was 16, 15 and 0. We had gone to shoot around at Bridgestone. We got on a bus to go from Bridgestone to Vanderbilt for practice, which is not. I mean, that's like
Not far at all.
5 miles. Halfway through that trip, BP stands up, turned the bus around,
Well,
hopped on a plane, and flew on home.
Dang.
Pretty brutal.
were you in Auburn, Dawn?
No,
You were on spring break.
I was on spring break. I was in Savannah with some friends. We were on the beach, and we said, guess what, y'all, spring break's going to be 2 weeks long. Let's go. And then I remember we all got back to Auburn, and there were already cases of COVID in Georgia. And so my parents were like, just stay in Auburn, and then you can come home back to Birmingham whenever. I never went home. I stayed in Auburn throughout all of it.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Where were you?
The correlation, thanks for asking.
Yeah.
The correlation of spring break, which was that week of March 18th, and then COVID is really why I even have the opportunity to sit with you guys today. That's really when my life changed. That's when Room to Room happened. But on March 18th, 2020, I was in the dugout. We were playing Wofford. It was a Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
It was the 8th inning. And Alan Green, the AD at the time, walks in the dugout, which typically doesn't happen during the game.
It's not a great sign.
No. I was on the bench watching the game. It was I think top of the 8th or bottom of the 8th. And Alan told us, hey, guys, you enjoy these last 2 innings because the season's going to be postponed, which was the language at the time. We're going to go home for a week, come back, resume play. So we got shut down. All my teammates went home across the country. I grabbed my backpack, walked home to Moore's Mill, which is 2 miles down the Not actually, but could have.
Might as well.
And we posted up for a week. I kept working out. I kept throwing, trying to stay in shape because we thought the season was coming back. And obviously it never did. So all the students at Auburn were told, hey, you're on spring break. You can't come back to your dorm room to pack up your stuff because you might have COVID, and we don't want you guys bringing COVID back to Auburn. So 4,800 dorm rooms were left as is. So everyone's bed and sheets and towels and laptops and everything were locked in the dorm rooms. Auburn couldn't help it. The students couldn't help it. It just was COVID. So about 6 weeks later, the season, is canceled by then. The world is shut down by then. I'm at home. I'm still working out as an athlete, staying in shape, but I had a lot of time on my hands, and my mom was kind of getting tired of my brother and I around the
There's only
house.
so many walks you can go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's an active member of Auburn. She's a realtor. She sells houses. She's always trying to help the community of Auburn. And she was on Facebook and these, parent Facebook groups, class of 22, 23, 25. And she noticed
A little bit active at that time, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
very, very active.
Yeah.
And the biggest topic during this time was, hey, my stuff's still in the dorm room. I live in California. I live in Birmingham. I live not in Auburn. What can I do about it? And no one had a great answer because no one knew really the future. So mom reached out to a few folks that we know at Auburn and said, hey, like, these parents are asking these questions. I'd love to help them. What should I say? One thing leads to another. And we look up around May of 2020 and people are shipping their dorm room keys to my parents' house in Moore's Mill. My brother and I, with Auburn's permission, are going into the dorms with masks and gloves on.
Wow.
And UPS boxes. We're packing them up. We're taking them to UPS. We're shipping them literally all across the country.
Wow.
Absolutely insane.
So 4,800 dorm rooms over a summer. It was fun. It wasn't a company. It was the Auburn family helping Auburn family. Wow. And it was a mom trying to get her kids out of the house, for being honest.
Not a bad workout, too, I would imagine.
Pretty good workout. It was hot in Auburn, as you guys know.
Yeah.
It was special, though. We enjoyed it. It gave my brother and I something to do. Again, it wasn't a company. We weren't really charging anything. If UPS charges something, we would send them the receipt and maybe we got a tip. But it was more or less just keeping us busy and helping Auburn. And that was the start of Room to Ring.
Wow.
Absolutely incredible. Well, it's one of the things, Dalton and I have talked about it more times than I can count. It has come up on this podcast even more, is the creed. And so much of just like Auburn helping Auburn. It's what you do. It's what we do. There's a need. Let's fill it.
Right.
And that's just like so ingrained into what you're saying and what you've done. It's hard not to see it. It's so plainly obvious to me, which is really incredible.
Right.
And so I'm sure rewarding.
Yeah, definitely. And it's kind of natural for us Auburn people.
Yeah.
You're here in school for 4 or 5 years, you feel it, you see it, and then naturally when it's on your, lap like it was for us, the only call to action just to help Auburn people.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we were looking at.
So you're doing this for, how long were you just doing this? Like, let me just help people where they need it.
Yeah, all summer. So COVID, from May to August when school started, because then Auburn came back in session in August. So it was 3 or 4 months of packing up dorm rooms.
So when did it convert from a thing I'm just doing to help people when they ship me a key to I can turn this into a company, business?
I would say my brother and I had some good conversations during the summer. You're stuck in the dorm room.
Had some free time.
Yeah, you talk a lot. So we talked about, could this be something? But again, I was a baseball player at the time. So, and he actually was too at Troy. So school came back in session in August. I went back to being a finance student and a junior now playing baseball, which is a big year in baseball, junior year, draft year. So I'm training and, I really started to think about it that fall though. That was when I took the business classes, and that's when I met Lou and the New Venture Accelerator. And then the Halloween pitch competition, which is something that Auburn puts on. It's basically like Shark Tank for Auburn.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I took the idea that Brady and I had, put it on paper about maybe we could have a college moving company, and pitched it at Halloween pitch competition, and then pitched it at Tiger Cage in the spring. But again, there was no LLC, there was no company. There was just a small vision. If baseball didn't work out, maybe I could help some college kids move. Our baseball season was pretty rough that year. So the next spring, now our spring 21, we weren't playing great. Personally, I wasn't playing great. And I came back to my locker one day in probably mid-March to a few text messages after practice. Some random numbers I'd really never seen before. And the consensus was, hey, Brooks, this is so-and-so from California. You helped move my daughter's dorm room last summer. Could you do it again? Wow. The next person was like, hey, this person told me you have a moving company. Can I hire you too?
Wow.
And as a junior, 21-year-old baseball player, I didn't text him back. I was too busy, right?
Hey,
it's baseball or nothing.
Yeah. Now you got to get it.
So I didn't text the first group back. Well, after a week, I had about 40 people trying to hire this moving company that didn't even exist.
That's nuts.
So that's when I knew we probably had something. But my problem I had was I didn't have the time to be the mover, because I'm in the height of baseball season. We're traveling.
Yeah.
We're going to places like Athens, Georgia, Tuscaloosa, Gainesville. So I had the time to put it together on the bus, the plane, the hotel, but I didn't have time to move it. So we ran a small beta test. I was behind the scenes putting it together, and then a few of my buddies from Auburn were the movers. And I think we went like 13 for 13 on May move outs. The clients liked it. The movers got paid good. Right. We'll take that back. For sure. And when that worked, I knew we had to do something. So baseball season ended in May of 21, and Room to Ring Movers was officially incorporated with insurance, website, marketing in June of 21. And from there, it's 2026 now. The last 4.5 years has included a bunch of team members joining the team.
Bring it on.
A players, 5 stars, bunch of technology, a lot of marketing, and then some expansion to the SEC schools. Really, the one we're at right now is Ole Miss. But I guess that's the quick elevator pitch of how Room to Room started where we're at today.
That's awesome.
Absolutely incredible. I think it's so cool. Like, I don't want to do the math here, but that's been 5 years, since 6 years since you're just moving random people to now. If I had told you then where you end up, you would have laughed at me walking out the room, right? Because it's a crazy journey, but absolutely incredible. And what an awesome success story.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And 6 years ago was COVID, isn't
That just
wild?
Next 6 years next month.
yeah. Let's not remember that.
It's crazy.
Let's not relive that anniversary.
Yeah.
Well, Dalton has some literature here.
Yeah.
We want to brag on you. This is very similar to, we've had a couple professors on here, and we always read the Rate My Professors,
Okay.
if you will. So this is as close to that
This is as close as
we can get.
Rate My Movers.
yeah.
Let's hear it.
Rate My Movers. So you have 5 out of 5 stars on Google reviews, by the way. If you didn't know,
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And over 160 reviews.
This is a business owner. This is a great, he knows.
He knows. He's checking.
Every day.
I might have looked this morning when I was.
Yeah. But some examples. So this is from somebody named Christine. Coming from out of state, Room to Room made my daughter's dorm move and extremely easy. They were courteous and incredibly easy to work with. Move-in day could not have gone smoother. From a guy named Michael. They showed up, got everything moved, cleaned up, and disappeared. Just what we wanted. Highly recommend.
Disappeared. I love it.
It's the best.
How does that make you feel now? Like, I just knowing that you have satisfied customers, you're helping the Auburn family, but now to know too that you're expanding across the SEC, and now you're at Ole Miss too. So you're just helping people. In multiple locations. What is that like?
Yeah, God is good. That's a group effort right there.
Yeah.
So I'm getting to speak about it today, but that's the sales team making the good sale, comfortable sale. That's the marketing team letting these clients know about us beforehand. That's the operations team training the movers to move and I guess disappear.
Right.
It's technology, allowing the client to book online and getting the correct information to the mover. It's the board of advisors advising me and the team about what we should do next. It's accounting, keeping up with the books. It's everyone.
Yeah.
But that's special. That's probably my favorite part of business is looking at my phone, seeing someone leave a satisfaction comment or a 5-star review like that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we take pride in it. We studied Chick-fil-A a lot, and we try and model a lot of the stuff we do around customer service and operational excellence around
Being my pleasure guy.
Yeah, definitely. My pleasure.
Yeah.
But no, we really do take a lot of pride in getting clients to enjoy the room-to-room experience like that those 2 or 3 did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I remember, for so many, maybe not, this is like you probably, just walk out of your backyard, but moving into college, especially as a freshman, can be a lot of words. Daunting is probably one of the best. It was an experience.
I was in college for 6 years. Do you know how many times I moved?
It was probably 7, 8.
6.
No.
Yeah. I wish I would have known.
Yeah.
I would have been using you.
It is a really stressful time. Moving is stressful.
Yeah.
Right. Moving to college, especially if you're a freshman, is extremely stressful. Or if you're transitioning from maybe an upperclassman going from the dorm to an apartment. Like, there's always, that is a big change, and it's often the first time you've done that.
Yeah.
And to have one less thing, there's a lot of things to worry about. But just to have, one less thing to worry about is incredible. I can only imagine. Because I remember my move was, did that one myself, me and myself and my parents, and I think my grandparents did that move, I think, and everything. That was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. But it was a lot. I don't know if I'd want to redo it necessarily either.
Right.
It is a lot. And if you think about it, a freshman moves to school and they're here for 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 sometimes.
I was in grad school too. I wasn't just. Yeah.
But typically they are moving every year.
Yeah,
Because they go from the dorms to the brand new apartment to a house off campus. So we have a very unique opportunity to welcome them day one. Tell them War Eagle. And then to tell the parents and the family, especially, like, hey, we have a safe, efficient, comfortable experience if you need it. Some people can move themselves. But especially for the out-of-state parents, hey, you don't have to come to Auburn. You don't have to book the flight. You don't have to take the taxi. You don't have to spend the money on restaurants and shopping with your daughter and your wife. If you want to trust a local service in Room to Room, we can definitely be here for you from freshman year to senior year. And there's a bunch of value in that. So that's kind of our model in a nutshell, is how many times can we serve that student and how great can we be during those 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to mention as well, if you're doing any driving from Auburn, Birmingham, up towards Nashville, going up the direction, up 65, might see some familiar branding up on some billboards. You guys have been doing some work with some athletes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's correct.
All right, walk me. What's the new NIL world look like from a marketing side of things? Because that's some work you expanded into that realm now.
Right. Well, it's fun. My last year at Auburn was the first year of NIL. So I got to see it at ground level. That's changed drastically since then.
Yeah.
As you guys know. Yeah. It's a very hot topic. I think it's great for the players, but it's also great for local brands and national brands. But as a local brand, we try and do our research. Who's the best player? Who has the best brand on social media? Followers, engagement. Do they already do NIL? So we're constantly monitoring, looking for opportunities, and then we reach out and see if it's a good fit. Some athletes, they're not really into it. Some athletes eat it up. It really is a case-by-case basis, but our goal in NIL is to, number one, promote the athlete. So I would love for Keyshawn Hall, for example, who's on our billboard right now, Auburn starting shooting guard. I would love for him to get some NIL deals because someone saw his face on the Room to Room billboard. Right? So that's goal number one. If the athlete doesn't enjoy it and they don't soak it up and heat it up and get deals from it, it's not going to work. And number two, it does help with branding. So to have your name next to one of Auburn basketball's best players, one of the best players in the country, it helps.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our strategy there. We love it. We also do some influencer work. So some sorority girls, some fraternity guys, some college students at each campus. We'll do our same research if it's a good brand, and we trust them. They trust us. It's kind of a similar setup there. But NIL is great. I think it's great for everyone, and we'll continue to do it.
So I used to work in athletics, right? And I used to do all the media shoots and stuff, which I know you've done as well. I'm sure I've done them with you. They all blend together. But to be able to be kind of on the other side of the business side, to see like, oh, let's get the photography, let's get the media, let's get the branding. It's got to be an interesting experience having seen it to a certain degree from the athlete side of things.
Yeah, very helpful. I understand the athletes are on a pretty tight schedule.
Yeah.
So we communicate that with the team, like, hey, let's be prepared. When the influencer or athlete gets here, it's time to go. And our goal is to get them in and out as quickly as possible, as long as we have quality content.
They got 6.5 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, it definitely helped, just like it helped when I was, playing baseball. I got to see NIL. We have a different perspective of it than maybe most businesses do. But yeah, our goal is to make it efficient, make it fun, and then to make it, really high quality content.
Awesome.
Love that.
All right. Well, let me ask you the tough question then. Break out the crystal ball.
Yeah.
What's, you're a few years into this now. What do the next few years kind of look like?
Yeah, I mean, we're excited. Our team's motto this year is chase failure. So
love that.
Have y'all heard of that before?
I mean, that one specifically, I have not, but some facsimiles, I'm sure. But yeah, please describe.
I had never heard of it before either. We went to a leadership conference as a executive team in December, and the speaker was talking to us about, coming up on the new year and people set resolutions and goals. And he said, set your goals and expect to accomplish them. Go chase failure, expect to fail. When you fail at something, you're going to look back and say, why did I fail? Which means you're going to learn. And then hopefully when you learn, you get better for the next time. So we're going to chase failure. I don't know if that means every college in the next 12 months or 36 months or 48 months or 10 years, 20 years. But that is our goal. Our slogan under our logo is serving college talents. So I believe with the team, the technology, and the operation, why not try and chase failure and get to every college town ever?
Yeah.
Bring it on.
So again, I don't know the timeline. I'm not making any promises, but
Jizzle in stone today.
yeah, favorite. If you were looking at the crystal ball, and this is not just me speaking, this is our whole team, all the families that are involved in Room to Room. We definitely want to be the movers in college towns across the country and maybe across the globe one day.
Beautiful. All right. Well, we're getting on there on time, but I want to give you a chance. This is your plug. This is your chance to really kind of get in.
Okay.
To get in touch with you, find you, socials, website. Where if we want to get in touch with you, where's the best place to find you?
Yeah, I mean, best place is Google. Google Room to Room. You can learn about the website. We've built technology where you don't have to call the office to book a move. You can go on there, build your inventory, pick your dates. You can reschedule on your portal. You can cancel. You can share coupons with friends. So that's where I would urge people, if you need a move or you want to learn about the Room to Room story, just Google us, Room to Room Movers. We do a lot on social media with influencers and NIL deals and stuff. So hopefully you'll see us there if we're doing our part as a marketing team. And then we would love y'all's support. It's a really cool journey. Started with COVID. Now we're expanding to, Ole Miss and other college towns. So we'd love you guys to keep up with us and play a part in our journey as well.
Awesome. Well, we want to thank you for all the work you've done. And what a great example of what Auburn means and the creed means, manifest. Right. Post-grad alum helping out the next generation of students and Auburn alum and the Auburn family. And you've done some incredible work. So we want to thank you for doing that. And appreciate you spending time with us to tell us about it. It's really awesome to hear.
Thank y'all for having me.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
We want to thank you for joining us. We'll be back again next month with another member of the Auburn family right here. You can see us here on YouTube. If you like what you heard, you like what you saw, want to see more of us. Who wouldn't want to, right? We got more. We got many, many episodes going back a couple years now. So you can go back and listen to some more awesome things we've got to talk about. And then until then, we'll see you next time. War Eagle.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.